Hey, hi all. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to discuss about read-only keyword. TypeScript offers us, and we can make a property of a class read-only. We can make a member of a TypeScript uh, interface as a read-only, right? As we have learned, the access modifiers in the last video. It's like that only. Just a syntactical difference, a keyword difference we have. And we are going to learn how we can use the read-only properties in interfaces and then how we can use read-only property in classes, and we can create our own type using typed alias. So how can we use read-only into that as well? And there are some differences between const and read-only. We can learn that as well, and some of the use cases like where we can use the read-only properties, right? So let's start. So for read-only properties, as you have learned in the last video how we are using the public, private, and protected keyword beside before the property name. The same we need to give the read-only keyword as well. So let's understand with the interface first. Let's say we have a interface named car, and we have a car name as a string, and we have a car model as a string. Let's say I want see car model, right? The car model should be read only, right? So what I can do, I can just give a read only keyword before that property name. Now as we have defined as we have declared the properties in the interface gives us a chance to initialize the read only property one time. Okay, the significance of the read only property is that if we have initialized it, we cannot reinitialize it outside the class, or outside any interface object as well. Okay, so let's understand how. So I'm creating an object of type car, and as you know that if we give type interface type as a type to any variable, we need to implement those properties. So let's implement properties. The name is nothing but Indica, and the model is nothing but the company, maybe the make is nothing but, let's say, make. The make is nothing but Tata. So we are adding property as a Tata. So you can see we have one chance to initialize the property over here. Okay, so let's say console.log obj.cmake. I can access it. tsc index.ts. Let's transpile the file, then node index.js. Right, you can see the Tata has been printed over here, right? So now I want to update the value for cmake. How I can do that? Usually for the public properties or the normal properties, what we do, we just make cname as a uh, let's say Mahindra, right? So we are able to update the value for this variable, and let's say can we make update for this value as well or not. So obj.cmake is equal to Thar. Okay, so I'm giving the value as a Thar, and let's say here Mahindra, right? So now as you can see, it gives me error, like cannot assign cmake because it's a read-only property, because the reinitialization is not possible in in case of read-only properties. Okay, so if you are declaring the property as a read-only in interface, only interface gives us a chance to initialize the property only once, and then after that, like if you are creating n number of object and giving type of car, it will it will give you only one chance to initialize that property. Let's say we have a object 1 as a type car, here you have a option to reinitialize it again, like the name is Thar, the make is Mahindra, right? Because the instance of this variable is different and the instance of this variable is different, right? Now if I try to update obj1 cmake, you cannot do that because it is a read-only property, right? So if you want to update the read-only property again, then you need to create another variable and give the type as a interface type, and then you can make an update. But inside, once you have given the type, you cannot make it, you cannot update it outside that object. Okay, so as we are updating it outside the object, it is not possible. Okay, so this is how it works in interface case. Let's understand you know in the case of class. So I am creating a class name person, giving some values like name, string, and let's say read only location of type string, and you know that we need to call the constructor as well. Now let's create an object where person is equal to new person and person dot location is equal to something, right? So if I try to update the value outside this class for this read only property, I cannot do that over here, right? So this is a slightly different approach actually. So if you look at the interface case, so inside interface we have defined the property over here, but we are actually able to change or update or initialize the property only once. So we have a chance to initialize that property, right? So to do that, what you can do, you can create different variables, and you can give the type as a car to different variables, and then n number of time you can initialize the value for that read only property. Okay, but only once. But in case of class, you can see it is strictly not allowed to initialize outside the class. Okay, you can initialize it inside class only. Let's say Nashik maybe. Okay, so now once you have initialized it, you can access it anywhere, like the public property we have, right? So public property also we can access anywhere, and we can update that anywhere. But in case of read only, we can access only, we cannot update it once it is initialized, whether the place is class or the interface. Okay, so this is how the example of class. Now let's understand the typed aliases. Let's say I am creating a type alias as a mouse pointer is equal to an object. So we have the coordinates x of type number, then y of type number. So let's say both are read only, only, right? Now I am creating another object obj2 of type mouse pointer is equal to, now again, like this works like interface only. Again I am creating a my own type using type alias, using type keyword, right? And I can initialize the value over here. Okay, x is 10 and y is 20 only once. Now let's say obj2 dot x is equal to, let's say I'm giving 30. Okay, so it gives me error, cannot assign x because it is a read only property, right? So this is how it works in the typed aliases as well, right? So we have seen using read only properties in interfaces, in typed aliases, and in classes. Let's understand the differences between const and read only now. Now about the const, right? So const keyword is used to declare the constant variables, and whereas read only keyword used to declare the read only properties of a particular object. So you see class is also an object only, right? At the end, class is nothing but an object only, a wrapper. So we can say that class is also object and the normal object is also object. As you can see, object one is an object and class person is nothing but an object only at the end. Okay, So the read keyword is used to declare the read-only properties, and we can assign some values. We can initialize it in interface. If we are implementing that interface, then we can initialize the value of read-only properties over there. And in a class, we have both facilities like declaring and initializing the values at once. But in case of const keyword, once you declare, you need to assign values at the same time, right? In case of read only, it is not there. It is, we can define it somewhere and we can initialize it again, right? We can initialize it for the first time. And then, read only properties can be accessed anywhere, right? And read only properties can be changed only once, but const variables cannot be changed, right? So these are some differences over there, in the const and read only. So now there is a question like, where do we need to use the read only properties, right? The read only properties can be used, for the data integrity purposes, right? So once, if we want some variables not to be changed, throughout the application, then we can use that variables. We can, store some secrets over there, right? Some API keys or API URLs like that. You can store those property, those values as a property for the property of read only, right? Then we have API contracts as well. So whenever you are, creating or sending any object to the API, then we can have some read only properties in that object as well, right? So that it gives us some guarantee that these values will be constant every time when you send those objects to the APIs, right? So those values can't be changed before sending it to the APIs. So these are some places where you can use the read-only properties. And now this is how read-only properties are, right? So if you have understood this properly, or if you have any issues with it, you can comment down your questions. I'll answer over there. Okay. And if you like the video, if you have understood something, then you can like the video, share with your friends, and do not forget to subscribe the channel and hit the bell icon so that you never miss any new updates like upcoming videos as well, right? So thank you all guys. Let's meet in next video.